What is your purpose? What if you've already found your purpose? Let that sink in. What if I told you that you already are living in your purpose and you're like, no, that's not true. I didn't find my purpose. I don't know what calls me. I don't know what career to do. I'm living a job I don't like. It's not true that I found my purpose, but hear me out, okay? What if we are always in our purpose? Because everything we do, everything we experience, everything we try leads us towards the path of our purpose, which means that even if the final purpose is this, everything that led to this is also part of the purpose. And even when you think you found your purpose, maybe that might change. Maybe that's just the purpose of the moment and it's gonna evolve into something else. So what if the purpose is simply to be living? To be experiencing your life, experiencing what you're living right now. And what if the purpose is not this big thing you need to find, this big career, this big goal, and it's only living in your current highest truth? The truth that resonates most in this moment, and always following that path, always following that truth, always following what feels right now. And that is your higher purpose. That is you living in your purpose. Because I think there's a few things coming out here. There's a concept that a purpose is absolutely your career, your job. Like finding your purpose means finding your dream job. But that is a little skewed up. What's skewed? Sometimes I use words and I'm like, is that even a word? What's skewed? Skewed meaning. Make biased or distorted in a way that is regarding an inaccurate, unfair, or misleading. Okay, that's it. It's skewed. Because the reason we are looking for our purpose is because we are not satisfied with our current reality. Let's say you're working a 9 to 5 and everyone is there online being like, let go of your 9 to 5. There's a whole world out there. Find your purpose and get paid for it and blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, okay, I'm not happy in my current circumstances. That means I haven't found my purpose. And now we're attaching purpose to a career, when in fact we're just mixing things up and we are just not satisfied with our current lifestyle, which is fine. But a purpose doesn't need to be related to a career, it just needs to be related to the highest truth. Let's look at the definition of purpose, just for fun. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So finding your purpose is finding the reason for which you exist, which is pretty huge. It's pretty big. Wouldn't the simple fact that you exist and you're here be your purpose? Because maybe your purpose is just to experiment life, to experiment yourself, to experiment this reality, and to learn and to grow. And so you are constantly doing that. You are constantly in your purpose. And let's look at the career stuff, okay? Let's say right now I'm filming a video. This feels like my purpose. I found out in the last years of my life that what feels like my purpose is sharing my voice, is sharing the wisdom I have within, is sharing all these messages that have grown inside of me and it compels me to share because it's stronger than me. Like I want to share this and it feels like this is my purpose. This is my mission. But if I look back to my life, I didn't speak up until I was 3 years old. So I was living in a household where I registered if I speak, I am not safe. So I kept my voice in. And that followed me for a lot of my life. So for the first like 18, 19 years of my life, I had a very repressed voice. I was really scared to share my feelings, to share my burdens. I had a lot of trauma around speaking about sharing my truth. And I even hated my voice for so long. And I grew up with a sister that had a lot of problems. So she was older than me and she was struggling a lot emotionally and I was always wanting to help her, wanting so bad to help her, and I felt so disempowered. So that pushed me when I was looking for what studies I should do, that pushed me to go into a psychology related career. So I studied specialized education and that was the beginning of my healing journey. I chose that career because of my upbringing, because of how I felt, because of how it was at home. And through studying as a specialized educator, I healed enormously. I started also healing my voice slowly and surely, but that was a long process. And then I did, after my studies, work in a psychiatric hospital for 4 years. And after that, you know, I didn't really feel like I wanted to do that as a career on the long run. And it was more like because I was working for the government and the 9 to 5. And I was like, this is not what I truly want. I was still interested in the subject, you know, that always interested me. And then I went on a few years of doing random jobs. I did a waitress, I did brand ambassador, I did so much different stuff. I went to travel to Australia for a year. And now I'm back to today, where I feel like my vocation, I feel like my purpose, my passion, what I want to do is share my voice. And this has been going on for a few years. I also had another YouTube channel. It didn't really work out. But all that to say is that everything in my life led me to here. Even when I was born and that I had trauma over speaking, over sharing my voice, this is what allowed me to unlock my voice. And the problems I had with wanting to save my sister, this is what got me interested into healing, and which got me into a huge healing process. Like the studies I was doing at that point, even if I didn't choose to do career in that job, it was still my purpose at that moment. And all the struggles I went through, like all the pain I felt, was for me to be able to deliver these kinds of messages today. And maybe right now this feels like my purpose, but 10 years from now, maybe my life would have taken a whole other route. And I'm gonna see how I needed to go through this right now. I needed to do videos and unlock my voice because maybe it unfolds into something else. Okay, come on. So when is the moment that you say, this is my purpose, nothing else? This is me living in my purpose. When is the moment you stop seeking for something on the external? Because sometimes we're looking so much for our purpose and for the meaning of life that we never truly find it because it was always here. It's just like when you're looking for your glasses and they're on your head the whole time and you're like, oh, they were there. Or that you're looking for something and you keep on looking, you can't find it. And then when you stop looking, you find it, it just appears. I feel like this is the same thing. Like we're looking for our purpose everywhere but inside of us. We're looking for our purpose and what we're here to do, and we're making something so big out of it. But your purpose is to be here right now and do exactly what you're doing. Maybe your highest purpose right now, it's like, oh, I don't want to watch TV shows anymore. I just want to meditate 30 minutes per day. Maybe that's your purpose of the moment. It never has to be anything big. It just has to be what is your highest calling in this moment. It's all gonna unfold somewhere and you have no control over what it's unfolding into. You just have this moment. And if you're always chasing a purpose that is happening later on, you are saying that you are not enough in this moment, that you are not actually living in your purpose in this moment, when that in fact is not true. We try so much to find the meaning of life that we lose the meaning of this moment. We stop appreciating what is here now because we're always looking at something that is happening on the external, that is happening later. What if what you've built up to now is enough? What if where you are is enough and is perfect and that you're living in your purpose already? Because it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And the less you resist and the less you try to find it, the more it's gonna come to you. What feels right is going to come to you because you're not going to be connected to an egoic chase of something that you think is bigger than your present moment. You're going to be surrendering to what is here now, and your intuition is going to speak to you. It's going to be way more easy for you to hear the voice of what feels your highest in this moment. And if you're always following that highest, well, you are always in your purpose. And if you feel that you're not following your highest, well, it's just a lie. Because we always are doing the best we can in this present moment. In the past, your best is not your best of right now. So you can look at your past and being like, oh, I was not living my highest, but at that moment you were. At this moment you are. And in the future, your highest is gonna look different. For now, my highest is to do videos. And I'm like, could this just be enough? Whether people see it or not, this is me living through my purpose. This is me living through what feels right. You know, nature never asks itself, oh, am I living in my purpose? It just always is naturally living in its purpose. Nature is just always doing what it's intended to do by being. Our purpose is to be. It's not to do something, it's to be. And through embodying being, the doing will naturally unfold. We're naturally gonna do, if that makes any sense. So it's fine to explore what makes your heart happy, what feels like the highest. It's good to explore and continue to explore and continue to evolve and continue to find something that is more aligned with your current reality. But also consider that in this moment, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. This is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And take off the pressure of where I need to be, and know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, and this is enough, and you're doing enough, and that everything you're experimenting right now is leading you somewhere, and you just have to trust in the way it's unfolding because you have no control over it. And maybe your current confusion is meant to be, and you'll understand it later on. But I think as humans, we put ourselves such in a great amount of pressure of trying to figure stuff out, and we forget to just live. We forget to just appreciate this moment and just enjoy it for what it is, and take off all the pressure of what we think we need to be and do, and just be like this little buddy and live. Just live and meow whenever she wants food, and you know. Do we finish here? Yeah, let's say bye-bye. Okay, bye. Oh.